to your hats because it's time for liftoff.
T-minus 10, 9,
Come
8,
on.
7, 6, 5,
4. Come on.
3,
Come on. You know the
2,
rest.
1,
Come on.
0.
I'm so
Ignition.
excited, and I just
Liftoff.
can't hide it.
Liftoff.
I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Here we go.
Ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready
For the ride of your life.
The show with no name time on Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name.
Let's go. Come on. We're bringing the storm, bringing the thunder. Welcome, amigos. Welcome to another exciting edition of The Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. I almost said FYI. I swear to God. Casi digo FYI. Oh, man. Get your program straight, buddy. O como decimos en inglés, buenísima expresión. Empezamos con una expresión acá. Get with the program. Ponte las pilas, bro. Get with the program. Or, más fácil, get with it. I know I don't have to say that to you guys because you guys are on the ball. Espabiladísimos. You're in it to win it. Ya sabes que me encantan las rimas. And today's a very special show because we are going to hear from you, our Show with No Namers. We're going to hear from Anix, Chris Valrol, Maria Jose, Kubla, Laura, Nudia, Leo, Chris from Chicago. Well, in Chicago. She's from Spain. And my buddy Salva. All that is coming up in our question of the week. Plus, we've got some challenges, lots of challenges up ahead. So I hope you guys are psyched. I hope you brought your A game. Que venisteis con todo. And if you like challenges, well, then I hope you're going to join us at our Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. Hey, Lara, do you have any plans for November 1st?
Hey, Daddy. Yeah. It's Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, baby.
Where is it taking place?
It's at Real Madrid.
What time does it start?
It's at 8:30. Get there at 8.
And who's hosting this time?
Seriously? Come on, Daddy. It's your turn.
Thank God my daughter isn't as forgetful as I am. I'm going to jot it down this time. And so should you. We'll see you for another Vaughn Radio Trivia Night at Roll Madrid, hosted by yours truly, un servidor. I'll see you November 1st at 8:30 p.m. at Roll Madrid for another exciting Vaughn Radio Trivia Night.
Be there or be square, amigos.
That's right. We'll see you there November 1st. Get there at 8, as my daughter says. And if you love challenges, then you're going to love today's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Sing it. Pop quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Come on. Get pumped. Get pumped. Get pumped. Get pumped. Let's go. Pumped is motivado. Pop quiz. Yeah. Pop quiz. It's magical. Pop quiz. It's corny. Pop quiz. Sometimes. Pop quiz. It's the pop quiz on Vaughn Radio. On the show with no name. And if you love to be tested, if you love to be put to the test, then make sure you join my great friend Ximena Holiday. She's awesome, and her show is on right after this show. You know it. It's called Test Your English. Plus, you can get the book, Test Your English, and it's available at the Vaughn Tienda. And along with Ximena's show, you've got 2 brand new shows. Have you listened to them yet? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Vaughn Radio proudly presents 2 brand spanking new shows. You can join Ruby every weekday on her program Speak Up from 3 to 4 p.m. Speak Up is for students who are just getting started and superstars who want to go over the basics. Let Ruby guide you through the English experience on her new program, Speak Up, on Vaughn Radio from 3 to 4 p.m. And Frankly Speaking, hosted by Chris. This program will be on every evening from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And in Frankly Speaking, Chris Frank will make you feel like you were at the restaurant or bar with him in a totally native conversation. Learn English as you have fun with Frankly Speaking. So make sure you check out our 2 latest programs. You're going to love them. Frankly Speaking with Chris from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And Speak Up with Ruby from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. I have a feeling, I have a hunch you're going to love these new programs. Exclusively on Vaughn Radio. Don't miss them. All right, folks, that's right. Don't miss our latest programs. If you have the Vaughn Radio app, you'll never miss a beat. No te pierdes ni un compás, ni una. And speaking of a beat, we've got our hip-hop beat because we're going to go on into our virtual classroom. Hello, show with no namers, and welcome aboard. All right. Well, let's warm up a little bit. Vamos a ir calentando. Today, we're going to look at say versus tell. Now, you don't know how many times I've heard people mix up say and tell. I know. Tell me about it. ¿Me lo dices o me lo cuentas? Ahí tenemos un uso de tell. Tell me about it. Y hay que poner esa entonación, ¿no? Oh, you're really? Man, it hasn't stopped raining in Madrid. Yeah, tell me about it. Like, me lo dices o me lo cuentas. So that's tell. So it's say and tell. Now, how would you, as a teacher, I know the answer, but I'm asking you, how would you explain it to somebody who didn't know? Somebody said, Alberto, when do I use say and when do I use tell? And there are some times where it's one or the other, like make and do, right? Por alguna razón aquí decimos say y otra decimos tell. Well, I'm going to give you 2 examples right now that are going to clear it up just in the example. And here we go. You don't have to write these. I'll give you your part in a little bit, but we're warming up right now. Di tu nombre. O como la canción, di mi nombre. Say my name, anytime you want me, baby, gonna get it. Say my name. Sounds like something sexual. It is. Well, in that case. So say your name. Di tu nombre. No hemos dicho a quién. Da igual en esta frase. Porque a veces da igual quién. A quién se lo decimos. So aquí, say your name. I didn't say to who, so it doesn't matter. So I won't use tell. Now, the moment I put the person that's receiving the message, and that's an important part, he told me he was coming, right? Because you can say, he said to me that he was coming, but eso es darle una vuelta. So it's real simple. Di tu nombre versus dime tu nombre. En la segunda, decimos quién recibe esa palabra. That's when we use tell. So say your name or tell me your name. The mistakes I find with these two. Well, first, say en tercera persona, cuando le añadimos una S, no es says. ¿Cómo se pronuncia? Says. Simon says. Ese juego que jugamos de pequeño. Simon says. It's a fun word to say. Says. I know it doesn't make sense. It should be says, but it's not says. Y luego en pasado, no es said, it's said. ¿Tienes sed? I said que tengo sed. Another mistake with tell. I hear a lot of people omit that D at the end in the past tense. So, he told me. No, he told me. Hay que oír la D. He told me. No, he told me. Tolkien. I think of Tolkien, the author. He told me. He told me. Right? And the other thing, the other big mistake with tell is tell to your father. No, tell your father I said hello. Not tell to. So those are the big mistakes that come out of say and tell. And I think the easiest way to clear them up is say your name, tell me your name. Si te acuerdas de esas dos frases, you got it under control. Now, I got these out of our focus translation list. You can get this booklet over at the Von Tienda. It's vontienda.com. If you're looking for courses, you're looking for kids camps, looking for video conference classes, whatever it may be, or you just want to find out about upcoming events, you can go to our website. It's grupovon.com. Grupovon.com. If you're looking for Christmas presents for your fellow show with no namers, well, then you can go right to the bookshop, which is vontienda.com. All right. Oh, and the phone number, just in case some people are traditional, they like to use the horn, otra forma de decir el teléfono, and that is 911-3858-31. All right, let's keep going here. No dijeron nada. Fijaos, no decimos a quién, eso no importa aquí. Da igual, a nadie, pues no hay que decirlo, a nadie. No dijeron nada, dijeron algo. No dijeron nada. Ahora, el momento que digo, no me dijeron nada, ya tenemos que usar tell. ¿Ves? Es un truco, es infalible. So, no dijeron nada. They didn't say anything. Puedes hacerlo con todas las frases. Y con tell, ¿cómo lo diríamos? They didn't tell me anything specifically. But they didn't say anything in general. It doesn't matter to who in this sentence. Did they say anything? No, they didn't say anything. They didn't tell me anything, at least. All right. ¿Cuándo vas a decírselo a ellos? Ahora decimos a quién. Because you can say, when are you going to say it to them? ¿Pero por qué? Sí, puedes decir, when are you going to tell them? When are you going to tell them? All right, another one. This is a tough one. No distingo la diferencia entre ellos. I can't tell the difference. So you gotta know this one. I can tell, distingo, se nota. Se usa siempre. I can tell you're angry. Se nota que estás enfadado. So ese tell, mira, muy importante para usar el se nota. Se notó que estabas enfadado. You could tell that you were upset. All right? So I can tell the difference between them. Puedo distinguir entre ellos. Di lo que quieras. Acuérdate, no estamos diciendo a quién, entonces no es tell, it's say. Say whatever you want. Diles a ellos lo que quieras. Tell them whatever you want. No sé si se puede poner más claro el say y el tell. Y una cosa, one thing is to know it in theory. And another thing is to know it innately. All right. Another one. Cuenta un chiste. Tell a joke. Esta es 50-50, pues aquí no es say. Se puede decir tell a joke o tell me a joke. Dímelo a mí. All right, the next one. No me digas. How do you say that? It's not don't tell me. No me digas. You don't say. Y acuérdate, la misma entonación que en español. No way. ¿En serio? Because the underlying message, the subtext, as we call it, is No way. So you got to say it like that. You don't say. You don't say, right? There's a surprise, an element of surprise over there. Okay. Se nota que estás enfadada. Did you remember it? You can tell that you're angry. You can tell that you're angry. All right. Are you guys ready now? I'm going to give you some over here, and we'll see if you guys can figure it out. The first one, I'm going to give you 3 with say or tell. All right, here we go. Nos dijeron que nos diéramos prisa. That's the first one. Nos dijeron que nos diéramos prisa. Okay? The next one. ¿No podemos ir? Es pregunta. ¿Quién lo dice? O sea, 2 preguntas. ¿No podemos ir? ¿Quién lo dice? All right? ¿Quién lo dice? And the next one. Are you ready for this one? Ella ni siquiera me saludó. Todos tienen o say o tell. Ella ni siquiera me saludó. If you want more exciting English and you want to learn different structures, so this is say and tell. But in the same book that I have here, and again, it's available at the Von Tienda. VonTienda.com, or you can go to one of our shops in Bilbao, Valladolid, Zaragoza, Barcelona, Valencia, Santander, Vigo, or Madrid. So you can get it online or you can go in person. Remember to ask about your free level test if you stop by the offices. We'd love to meet you. I know I speak on behalf of all of us here at Vaughn. All right, so in this one book here, and believe me, as a teacher, I use this weekly with my students because I'm like, okay, vamos a repasar so and such. Let's review in my community. You guys know I have an online community of students. Well, every week we look at one of these concepts in our classes. So we look at there plus to be, el haber. We look at short answer, irregular verbs, idiomatic expressions, some really, really useful lists to work specific things in English. All of this stuff is available at the Von Tienda, VonTienda.com, or again, stop by in person. And also, thank you. I want to say thank you to all our amigos at the airport. What? Oh, I know, Alberto, you're obsessed with aviation. Well, yes, but guys, in a fascinating turn of events, this book is the shit is like in every window at the airport, at Barajas, at Adolfo Suarez Barajas Airport. So that is pretty awesome. If you guys are in Barajas, if you're traveling in the next couple days and you see the book, let me know. But I know I got some pictures. And if you go to Madrid Airport, you're going to see this book is the shit in the windows. And so thank you very much to all our amigos at the airport. Hey, it's really important. One thing is having a good book, right? And another thing is having it in a prominent place in the shop, right? It's got to be at a prime location, primus optimo. So thanks a lot to Librería Central in Zaragoza. Thank you so much, amigos. You guys have this book is the shit in full view. I love it. Also, Casa del Libro. We've always had a wonderful relationship with our amigos at Casa del Libro. Well, I got some pictures from Casa del Libro in, what is this? Oh, in Logroño. Lovely Logroño. So thank you as well. Also, Librería Alibri in Barcelona. They also have this book is the shit in a prominent location. So thank you to all our amigos. And if you can't find This Book is the Shit at one of these bookshops, you can always pick it up at the Von Tienda, vontienda.com. And the survey's in, folks. No, los sondeos ya han llegado. The book came out a couple months ago, and my students are rating it. They're giving me their feedback, and it seems to be a crowd pleaser. Uno que encanta a las masas, al público, right? Speaking of crowd pleasers, I've got some crowd pleasers in the house today. My show with no-namers, Jay Lima, front row center. Jay Lima says, what's good, boss? Me gusta. What's good? Totally, Nate. Hey, what's good? ¿Qué me cuentas? ¿Qué hay de nuevo? Nice. Jay Lima starting off with a totally native. Born to Iron Man says, morning show with no namers. Good morning to you, sir. Always a pleasure to have you with us. Grace Valrol, we're going to hear from her today in our question of the week. And she says, morning, Double A and mates. Come on, daddy. I love it. I love the way Lara says, roll Madrid. I'm telling you, she is a natural born performer. Like sometimes I'm just listening to her from the other room and she's literally having one of the most creative conversations with herself. And she's playing like 3 different characters and she's doing 3 different. And I'm like, wow, what an imagination. Holy cow. So it blows my mind every time. So thank you, Chris. And I told her yesterday we were reading and I said, oh, by the way, Lara, por cierto, Lara, I said, everybody told me that you did a great job on your recording, on the ad, the radio ad. And she goes, they didn't tell me. I go, no. She's like, they didn't tell me that. I'm like, no, they told me to tell you. So great job, little Lara. You'll be hearing from her more often. In fact, I'm thinking about doing a section with her, not with her face, but just with her voice, where we learn with Lara, a little section called Learning with Lara. And every week we can learn something along with Lara because she's a show with no namer and an FYIer as well. She's helped me many times on FYI. All right, let's see. We've got Elena in the house. Elena says, a very good morning, Alberto and classmates. TGIF. Jay Lima says, you can tell, se nota. Jay Lima, I mean, you are on it today, man. You are on the ball. He says, you can tell it's Friday. Well, yeah, sure, if you're tuned in live, but it might be Monday. Well, whatever day it is, who cares? Enjoy it exactly the same. Let's see. Elena participating in our pop quiz. Let's see. The first one. Nos dijeron que nos diéramos prisa. We were told to hurry up. Excellent job. All right. Elena, the next ones are not capitalized. So if they're right, good job, but not great job, right? Because normally in a chat with your friends, it's not important, but in English class, you got to at least do that. Like it's a minimum, a bare minimum, right? So Elena says, we were told to hurry up. Then she says, can't we go? Who says so? ¿Quién lo dice? And the last one, she didn't even say hello. And she didn't even capitalize the first letter of a sentence, folks. Elena, I gave you 1 applause. I'm not going to give you 3, though. The first one was capitalized, and it's a shame because they were right, kinda. Hombre, en un examen, no, directamente, right? They would be totally wrong, right? Now, you're lucky this isn't an exam, but I want to at least have good habits here, guys. All right? You know that about me. I'm one of the fun teachers, chiflado loco, but you know I love order. Yeah, the older I get, the more I love order. It's crazy. I used to be Mr. Anarchy, Mr. Chaotic. Folks, we have to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We have so much to do on today's show. Lots of surprises lie ahead. So, you know how this works. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back in 2 minutes with tons more. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting and you can learn English all day long. You can start your day with the Pro Bow Show with my buddy Rob Grams. You've got Richard Vaughn Live. You've got Fitz's program, No Excuses. And by the way, all the guys I just mentioned are going to be at the trivia night. So anybody who's anybody's going to be at the trivia night. That's what they're saying. It's the talk of the town. Comidilla del pueblo. Pueblo, you say? Possibly? Creo que me suena de haber oído eso. It's Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, and we're all going to be there having fun, having a bloody good time. A damn good time. Mira, vimos la palabra bloody y damn. Un americano diría, we're having a damn good time. A British would say, we're having a bloody good time. Bloody, bloody. You get the pun, bloody, sangriento. Well, it is horror-based. You can expect the unexpected, amigos. Horror and pop culture. Music, movies, and all the stuff we use to learn English here on the show with no name. Folks, right now it's time for the Say What soundbite. Say what? What? Say what? All right, amigos. Are you ready? Here's where you take dictation. Here you have kind of two jobs. You're a secretary, or excuse me, an administrative assistant, because you're taking down notes. You're jotting things down. You're trying to be thorough, concienzudos. And you're also detectives, because you're trying to figure out, put together the pieces of what you heard. And today's, I think, is going to be really tough. It's a classic, though. Everybody in the English-speaking world is familiar with this one here. Everyone. But that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Well, either way, the first part is pretty easy. All you have to do is give me your opinion. But please, don't be careless. Descuidado. Because if I notice that you're careless, I just won't read your comment. Like I said, if you guys can't be bothered, neither can I. No, I'm like that with all my students. I'm like, oh, you don't care? I definitely don't care. Right? Because I get paid either way. I mean, I used to say that. Se quedaban como de piedra. They're like, what? I'm like, because I remember sometimes like big companies, well, the company was paying for the English classes. So the people were there just to like pose a little bit. Voy a mi clase de inglés, me voy a hacer un selfie. This kind of thing, right? And then I'd say, oh, great. Did you do your homework? Like, oh, no. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And they would be like, what? I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And they would say, excuse me? I'm like, if you don't care, how the hell can you expect me to care? Think about that. Taking it out of the English class context. And I remember sometimes students were like, I'm sorry. No. No. Don't apologize. Just don't expect me to care if you don't. Because I only care if you do. Right? That's how it works. You go, I go. I go, you go. It's this give and take thing. So, and they were usually the ones like posting on Instagram, like, mira, aquí estoy en clase de inglés. Y digo, y no haces ni papa. Now, thankfully, that's not the case with you guys. Cero patatero, as that famous expression says. All right, well, here we go with today's Say What soundbite, ladies and gentlemen. Is everybody ready? This is the first listen.
Never mind that, my lad. I wish to complain about this parrot what I purchased not half an hour ago from this very boutique.
Oh, yes, the Norwegian blue. What's wrong with it?
I'll tell you what's wrong with it. It's dead. That's what's wrong with it.
No, it's resting. Look.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. No, I know you're going to hate me now. But this is a classic. I mean, you're going to hate me because it's really hard, but you're going to love me because, man, if you haven't seen this classic comedy in English, you are missing out. I imagine you might have seen it in Spanish. All right, well, let me give it to you a second time, and then I'd like to hear what you heard in your best English possible. Here we go with the second listen of today's Say What soundbite.
Never mind that, my lad. I wish to complain about this parrot what I purchased not half an hour ago from this very boutique.
Oh, yes, the Norwegian blue. What's wrong with it?
I'll tell you what's wrong with it. It's dead. That's what's wrong with it.
No, it's resting. Look.
All right, my amigos, there you go. There's your Say What soundbite. Let's take a look. We had some other people participating in our pop quiz, and let's see who's on board, hanging out and playing along. Okay, Born to Iron Man says, they told us to hurry up. Just be careful. Born to Iron Man. It's with a U. Hurry up. Hurry up. So they told us to hurry up. And then the second one, he says, can't we go? Who say that? Who says that? Pero es más natural. Who says so? I say so. Esto es como entre padre y hijo, ¿no? You have to go to bed now. Oh, yeah? Who says so? ¿Quién lo dice así? Piénsalo así. I say so. Why do you have to do it? ¿Por qué lo tienes que hacer? Because I said so. Es frase hecha. So good job. Who say that? Just be careful when we use who, it's third person. Who goes to the supermarket in the middle of the night? Right? Siempre el que le siga es tercera persona. But that's why I want you guys using full sentences. So Born to Iron Man, you're not careless. You just made some mistakes. Mistakes are acceptable. Carelessness is not. Let's see. The next one, he says, she didn't even say hello to me. Nice job. Born to Iron Man. There's Kubla. Kubla says, morning, remarkable individuals. What's up, Kubla? He says, they told us to hurry up. Great. Number 2, can't we go? Who says? Oh, más natural. Who says so? Or who said so? ¿Quién lo dicta? ¿Quién lo dijo? And the last one, she didn't even say hello to me. Nice job. Great job. Chris Valrol says they told us to hurry up. Okay. They told us to hurry up. The next one, can't we go? Who said that? And we didn't capitalize that one, so that one's not right. Let's see the third one. She didn't even say hello to me. Nice job, Chris. Salva says, morning, AA and mates. Hello, Salva. Guess what? we're going to hear from you. Even though you put it off till the last minute, I was able to get it on the air. You guys are lucky I wake up at 6. A lot of people gave it to me at the last minute. Now, again, normally I can't guarantee it'll be on the air, but today, all of you who participated will be in our question of the week. All right, let's see. Elena says, a British comedian filing a complaint on something he bought at a boutique. Nice job, Elena. Kubla says it sounded like a couple of English gents at a pet shop squabbling over a deceased picturesque bird. All right. Squabbling is like arguing, fighting over a deceased picturesque bird. All right. So far, so good, guys. Wonderful job. Let's see. Anybody else? If not, you know we've got to move on, guys. Time flies when you're having fun. But as you know, if we don't pick up the pace, we've got to cut out sections, and I don't like doing that, generally. Okay? So, let's see. Leonardo says, it sounds like a scene from a British sitcom in which a client is complaining in a boutique about a pedal he purchased, and he's telling his clerk what he thinks of him. The only thing, Leo, it's not a pedal. So the word is not pedal. But good. Great analysis of what you heard. Wonderful job, everybody. Really nice. All right. Well, if nobody else is going to participate, if nobody else has anything to say about that, well, then you guys know we have to move on. So let's get going into our spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
That's right, amigos. It's our spelling bee over here on the show with no name. And as always, this is a part of the show where I'm going to spell some things for you and we see how well you guys can take it down. Now, the first time, it is hellish. De demonios. I'm really like, I don't care if you get it or not. Really, I'm not interested. Not my problem. Y hay mucha gente así, desafortunadamente, y en atención al público. I don't know why. Like, go work in a factory. You don't have to deal with people, right? I never understood people who work in the service industry, you know, cara con la gente, and they don't like people. I'm like, couldn't you? I mean, forget about us, the other people. You're torturing yourself. You know, if you don't like people, there are many jobs where you don't have to, mix or mingle with people. All right. We've got Chris Valrol coming in over here, giving us her take on today's Say What soundbite. And she says, I heard a couple of British actors or comedians. I didn't get the gist of it, but I think they were discussing about someone. Cuidado, they were discussing sin preposición. Y discusses tranquilamente. Argue es acaloradamente. So, remember this. We were arguing about or over money. They discussed politics. Ponte un ejemplo. Discuss no coge preposición. So they were discussing someone or something that maybe is resting. All right. Well, great job, Chris Valrol. And now it's time for round one of today's Spelling Bee. Now, folks, I'll tell you something. Today, it's going to be tough. Why? You've got years as well. So I'm going to give you a year and then I'm going to give you a name of something. All of these must be capitalized, con mayúsculas. They must be capitalized. Is everybody ready? All right, here we go. The first one is 1949, and the words are TORINO space FOOTBALL space CLUB. The next one's 1958, and the name is MANCHESTER space UNITED. The next one is 1961, and that is US space FIGURE space SKATING space TEAM. The next one, 1987, and it's ALIANZA space LIMA. The fifth one is 1993, and that is ZAMBIAN space NATIONAL space TEAM. And the last one is 2016, and that's CHAPACOENSE. Whoa, 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 and whoa. So, I guess it has something to do with sports. I gave you some years, and now you're hearing a sports crowd. All right, let's see what we've got over here. It looks like Born to Iron Man is taking a stab at it. Let's see how he did. That was really fast, I must say. All right, the first one is correct. The second one is correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one is also correct. Yes, the fifth one is correct. And the sixth one is also correct. Excellent job. Born to Iron Man. Wow, that was not only fast, but it was accurate. Preciso. Awesome job, man. You are unstoppable. Unbelievable. And, well, as you guys can see, these are sports teams and a year. Now, the question is, wonder what happened that year with that sports team. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Let's go through this list again, and we'll see if you guys can figure it out. This is round 2 of today's Spelling Bee. This round is for everybody, okay? The first one is 1949, and that is TORINO space FOOTBALL space CLUB. The second one is 1958, and the team MANCHESTER space UNITED. The next one, 1961, and that is I should have said capital U, capital S, but I didn't. So really, it's capital. That's why Iron Man, you got it. Capital U, capital S, space, FIGURE, space, SKATING, space, TEAM. The fourth one is 1987. And that team is ALIANZA, space, Lima. The fifth one is 1993, and that one is ZAMBIAN space NATIONAL space TEAM. And the last one is 2016. You can say 2016 or 2016. And that one is CHAPACOENSE. There you go, my amigos. I see that also we've got some other winners here. Kubla and Elena. Nice job. Oh, no, wait. Chris Valrol, too. Wow. Wow. All right. Excellent job, folks. Excellent. All right. Well, these are all sports teams that had tragedies that were air disasters. So specifically planes, helicopters, in the air. And the reason I chose these is because today in 2018, Leicester, Leicester City Football Club in England. Well, the owner, ready? Here I go. Vichai Siravadahana Prabhava. That's what it says, I promise you. Vichai Srivadahana Prabha died in a chopper crash. A chopper is another way of saying helicopter. He died in a helicopter crash along with 4 others after a Premier League match against West Ham United at the King Power Stadium in Leicester, England. So this is just one of the many tragedies that involved sporting teams. And the first one we're going to look at is 1949, the Torino Football Club. The Torino Football Club, this was on May 4th, 1949. It was a small little airplane, and it slammed into a mountain peak. Oh, man. And this was on the outskirts of Turin, Italy, on the outskirts in las afueras. And this crash is still considered one of the worst tragedies in the history of Italian sports. And they called the team the Great Torino, El Grande Torino, because they were in position for a 5th straight league title. So they were on a winning streak, and then, well, they crashed into a mountain. That is just a tragic tale. The next one, 1958, and that's Man U, or Manchester United. And this was a plane carrying the Manchester United team, and it crashed as it was taking off from Munich's airport. Of the 44 people that were on board, 23 died, including 8 players. And to commemorate this loss, the clock at Old Trafford Stadium in Manchester is kept frozen at 3:04 p.m. because that was the time of the crash. And that team was nicknamed Busby's Babes because it was Matt Busby, a very beloved coach or manager of this team. So very, very sad when, especially these are young people too. Think about it. Most of these athletes are in their 20s, maybe even early, late teens. 1961, the U.S. figure skating team. Esto es patinaje sobre hielo, figure skating. And it was in 1961, the 18-member team was on its way to the championships in Prague when the plane that they were on plunged into a field. To plunge is just to fall. Okay, caer del aire. Caer en picada. To plunge into a field in Belgium. Nobody survived from the team, and that was very, very sad because there were some world champions on the team. I mean, it's always sad, but then again, when it's young people, and it's when young people who had like the whole world at their fingertips, it really hurts. The next one, 1987, Alianza Lima, Peruvian football team. All right. And this was a Navy plane, de la Marina, and it was carrying Peru's first division team, Alianza Lima, and it plunged, ahí está esta palabra, or to nosedive es una palabra también, zambullirse de nariz. It nosedived into the Pacific Ocean, killing 16 players and the coach. So that was in 1987. The next one is 1993, and this was the Zambian national football team. And they were traveling to Dakar on April 27th, 1993. They were going to play Senegal. It was a qualifying game for the World Cup. The plane never arrived. It crashed over the Atlantic Ocean after refueling. 18 players and 5 officials were killed. And an interesting thing was in 2012, Zambia won the African Cup of Nations. And there was a moment there that was dedicated to everybody who lost their lives. So it's still remembered. It's pretty recent, 1993. If you think about it, that is very recent. So let's see. What else? The last one here. Are we on the last one? Yes. And the last one is probably the most recent one. In fact, I imagine many of you remember hearing this one when it was news. And this is the Chapecoense football team, a Brazilian soccer team, or football in your language, and it crashed on approach, llegada, to Medellin, Colombia. This was November 28th, killing 71 of the 77 people on board. So that means there were only 6 survivors. Folks, we've got to go to a quick commercial break right now. I can't believe it myself. We'll be right back with the second half of today's show. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3 of today's show with no name, where time flies because we're having a blast with our fellow show with no namers. Yeah. Don't forget, you've got a brand new episode of FYI. It just dropped this morning, starring Richard Vaughn. Oh, man. You can ask Born to Iron Man. I know he listened to both episodes already. He's in my community. Thank you. And Born to Iron Man, you can give us your opinion. Born to Iron Man, heard both of them. If you're not in my community, don't worry. This week, I'm making the bonus episode available to everybody since it's the last episode of Season 5. Where we take a look at American history with the one and only Richard Vaughn. And man, he's awesome. I mean, you guys know. I don't have to sing his praises. But when you get Richard talking about American history, he is in his element, man. He's just loving it. So, I hope you'll love it too. The first episode dropped this morning. If you're not in my community, you have to wait till tomorrow morning. Stay tuned wherever you get your podcasts, and you'll be able to download part 2. So it's about an hour with Richard Vaughn talking about American history. But don't worry, we don't go too deep. We talk a little bit about his heritage, too, and his history. So I hope you give it a listen. And if you like FYI, the same thing I tell you with the show with no name, be sure to rate it. Oh, and here's the intro of that show. As always, the intros are chock full of vocabulary. It's one of the newest countries in our Earth's existence. It has snowballed into a behemoth at breakneck speed. It's no secret In my homeland, we are master marketers, among other things. Some refer to this popular place as the home of the American dream, or the land of milk and honey, the land of the free, the home of the brave, where freedom rings from sea to shining sea. We'll learn the ins and outs of American history with Richard Vaughn on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
Inglés. You got it.
That's right, folks. I just shared the link to the first part. And as I said, if you're not in my community, don't worry. This week, it's on me. Invito yo. But you'll just have to wait till tomorrow morning. I didn't want to release 2 podcasts on the same day. But hey, that's great. It'll create some anticipation. All right, well, folks, we've got a lot to do, and we need to hear from you guys. But first, we need to hear our Say What soundbite, our very difficult Say What soundbite for the 3rd time. Everybody pay close attention and write down what you hear.
Never mind that, my lad. I wish to complain about this parrot what I purchased not half an hour ago from this very boutique.
Oh, yes, the Norwegian blue. What's wrong with it?
I'll tell you what's wrong with it. It's dead. That's what's wrong with it.
No, it's resting, look.
All right, amigos, and now it's time to hear from you, Show with No Namers, in our much anticipated question of the week.
Question of the week.
Charge! That's right, folks. It's question of the week here on the Show with No Name. And firstly, thank you to everybody who participated and who has participated not only in this section, but in all our sections. Keep up the great work. I'm proud of each and every one of you. And today we're going to start with Onyx. Let's see what Onyx's biggest phobia or superstition is.
Morning there, this is Onyx. I have to say that recording this audio, I discovered that I am a superstitious person because if a lottery seller offers me to buy a ticket, I have to buy it. It could be my lucky moment. And regarding to phobias, I am a germophobic. Imagine dealing with that these days. It's insane. Bye-bye.
All right. Onyx, she answered both questions there. So great job, Onyx. And yeah, she says if somebody sells her a lottery ticket, you have to buy it. Wow. So you better stay away from Sol. Stay away from Plaza Mayor and Sol over here in Madrid, Onyx, because they'll make a killing off of you. So, yeah, see, I'm the exact opposite. I'm like, I never win anything. So, but you're right. You got to be in it to win it. So she believes, hey, you never know when you're going to have that luck that's just going to come up there. And the last thing you want to do is kick yourself or regret it. Also, Onyx said she's a germaphobe. So, especially in the times we're living in. Well, Onyx, I'm going to tell you right now, don't have kids. If you're a germaphobe and you don't like people sneezing, achoo, or you don't like, I'm going to tell you right now, don't have kids. Because even if you keep your kids healthy, which is okay, you can vitamin C and, they can eat well and all that jazz. But they bring home lots of stuff from school. I learned the word caldo de cultivo in Spanish, which in English is breeding ground. So thank you so much, Onyx. You did a wonderful job and you expressed yourself beautifully. Let's see who's next. Next up, we've got Chris Valrol.
Morning, Alberto and mates. I'm Chris Valrol and I'm not superstitious, but I have a phobia of rodents, especially rats. I don't remember how long I've had it or what my mind ties it to. But hey, there it is. I even cringe if I see them in a movie. In fact, I don't want to see them. I don't want to say their name. Maybe my brain associates it with dirt, pests, or something unhealthy that quickly can escape our control. Anyway, sometimes it conditions me and it can be a pain in the neck. Thank you. Bye bye.
Great job, Chris. I'm not superstitious. The writing's on the wall. The writing's on the wall. Se ve venir. The writing's on the wall, man. Va a pasar esto. Se puede decir. Se puede prever. The writing's on the wall. So, yeah, Chris doesn't like rodents. Roedores, I think you say. So, rats, all kinds of things with tails and big teeth, right? You know what? I think in general, they're like spiders. They're animals that people generally don't like. Well, Chris, I'm going to say your answer, but take out the word rodents and put in the word reptiles or snakes to be more specific. So, Chris, I second the motion, and I don't like rats, but I can't even look at a snake in a magazine. Like when let's say I'm thumbing through National Geographic to thumb through, and all of a sudden I come across a page with a snake on it, I've been known to throw the freaking magazine like across the room. So I know where you don't even like saying the word. I get it, Chris. I have that same phobia, but again, with snakes. So you don't even like saying the word. Just be careful. There was one word that you mispronounced. It's not control, it's control. Right? Control. So just be careful. I've heard a lot of people mispronounce that, Chris. You aren't the only one. Wonderful job to Anix and Chris. Seriously, you guys sound amazing. And somebody who sounds amazing week after week is Maria Jose.
Hi there. Shall we know namers? Double A, it's Maria Jose from Valencia. Well, I think I don't have any phobias or superstitions that I can think of, but I have my everyday ritual. I'll explain it to you. I enjoy having breakfast calmly. That's why I prefer to get up a bit earlier. My breakfast consists of a big bowl of mixed up cereal with some milk, and I enjoy taking my time eating it calmly. Then I take my children to school, and when I'm back, I have a really hot cup of coffee before starting working. And that's when I really feel that my day has gotten off on a good start. And that was it. Thank you. Happy Halloween.
All right, Maria Jose, wonderful job there. And Maria Jose didn't talk so much about a superstition so much as a ritual, which is interesting because it's kind of the same. If you think about it, let's think about this. A ritual is something you do. And what happens when you don't do it? What happens? You feel like, oh no, I'm missing something from my day. So I get it. I know what you're saying, Maria Jose. And you know what I realized? The greatest days for me are the days where I can eat breakfast and not rush. So I know what you mean, because that's how I know I'm on vacation. Not that, maybe I can take a longer walk. It's when I can wake up and I can have a nice long breakfast and not look at my watch. That is winning. And I agree. And Maria Jose makes time for it. She's an early riser, an early bird. And as we say, the early bird gets the worm. Wonderful job. Week after week, Maria Jose, you've been kicking ass. You've been really kicking ass in this section, and don't think I haven't noticed. All right, let's see who's next. Next up, we're going to hear from your buddy, Kubla.
Hey, it's Kubla once more. I'm not superstitious. I used to be until I witnessed how knocking on wood didn't work for me. Anyway, as to an irrational fear, I don't think I have one. However, I get edgy whenever I walk down the sidewalk on a windy day. I try to mosey away from the buildings because something might fall on my napper. In addition, I also attempt to stay away from the street just in case some vehicle veers off and sweeps out everything on its way. On second thoughts, you can say I suffer from entomophobia because if I see a cockroach, I begin feeling uneasy. Thank you and all the best.
All right. Kubla, wonderful job over there. Excellent. And you used a wonderful word. I think we looked at it pretty recently. The word is edgy. Edgy. So I'm on edge or I'm edgy. Me pone nervioso. Well, Kubla, I don't want to imagine you on a windy day in New York because I could swear some of the buildings even move. Like, okay, maybe just a centimeter or a fraction of a centimeter. But I know what you're thinking. Like, I always think, how strong are these buildings on a very windy day? So, but in New York, there's no way to mosey around them. You got to go right through them there. So I get you. There are days where it's so windy and I'm like, is this house this is really testing the strength of these building materials. So great vocabulary that you use there, Kubla. You said edgy, you said to mosey away or to mosey over, ir tranquilamente saliendo de ahí. And just be careful. I don't know. It sounded like you said, I attend to different things. Or you say, I attend. And I think you meant I tend to instead of attend to. So, but excellent job. Really wonderful job. Oh, and cockroaches. That's funny, Kubla. My daughter just learned that word this morning because every morning I ask her, what did you dream about? ¿Con qué soñaste? What did you dream about? Well, first I say, did you sleep good? And she says, yeah or no. And then I say, what did you dream about? And today she said, I dreamt, Papi, that we were there with flamingos in a hole. I think she was dreaming about the zoo, el zoo. And then she said, and then there were these cucarachas. And she goes, how do you say cucarachas? And I said, cockroaches or roaches, se puede decir. So Kubla, here's my summary for you. Stay out of New York. There are cockroaches everywhere. And there are tall buildings and it's windy. Oh, no. And Chris Valrol, I wouldn't go to New York either if you don't like rodents. There are rats as big as cats. And I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's true. There were times when I'm like, is that a cat? Like where it was dark or something. And I was like, is that a cat or is that a rat? And it was the latter, la segunda. Yeah. All right. Well, all right. Enough. Stop being a scaredy cat. Miedica. All right. We need to hear from Laura and speak. Stop it. Down. Kitty, down. Enough. I said enough. Okay. Thank you. All right. Well, speaking of New York, we heard from our amazing friend Laura, who is tuning in live from, well, I don't know if she's tuned in, but she sent us the message live from New York.
Hi, Alberto. Hi, everyone. It's Laura. I haven't been able to follow the show live this week because I'm away. And I've missed you guys. But I didn't want to miss out on participating in this week's question of the week. My biggest phobia has always been heights. I'm afraid of heights. Actually, a recurrent nightmare I have is that I'm stuck in a really high place and I can't go down. As for superstitions, if we're eating and sitting at a table together and you ask me to pass you the salt, I never pass it to you directly from my hand to your hand because it brings bad luck. I just place it on the table closer to you when you can reach it. I hope you're all doing great, and I'm sending you lots of love from the city that never sleeps. Bye-bye.
All right. Laura, wonderful job, and enjoy New York City. Enjoy it. What a great audio that she sent us. And she said she's afraid of heights. Well, don't go to any rooftops in New York. Well, New York is not a good city for people with phobias. Think about that. Rats, big buildings that could fall on you, heights, falling yourself from heights. So, and also she had one that is a very common one, and that is to pass the salt, right? You don't normally pass the salt to somebody, right? You don't want to jinx it. To jinx is gafar, right? Un gafe is a jinx. So you never pass the salt to somebody. And it's one of those common ones with salt as well. Think about this. What happens if you spill some salt? Si tiras algo de sal, what do you have to do? You have to throw it over your shoulder, right? You've heard that one. Some other ones, beginner's luck, suerte del principiante, beginner's luck. Also in English, find a penny. If you find a penny, un céntimo, you got to pick it up. It's good luck, right? In fact, we call them pennies from heaven. Another one, which is pretty much universal, don't walk under a ladder. Don't cross paths with a black cat. What about rabbit's foots? Right? Rabbit's feet or a rabbit's foot. That'll bring you good luck, they say. Or a horseshoe, una herradura. And don't break any mirrors. Don't do that. Oh, and another one, don't open an umbrella indoors. Here's one we say in English. If you step on a crack, en la acera, una grieta, you break your mother's back. Pobre madre. Also, we've got lucky numbers and unlucky numbers. 13, right? 666, which also has meaning. Knocking on wood. The British say touch wood. The Americans say knock on wood. Crossing your fingers. That's another one. And, of course, Friday the 13th. You call it Martes 13. ¿Así se llama la película también? Con Freddy Krueger? Con Jason? Friday the 13th? ¿Lo llamáis Martes 13? That's an interesting one. Well, we are in the Halloween mood over here. That's why we're taking a look at some superstitions and phobias. And right now we're going to hear from Nuria.
Hi, Alberto and friends. This is Nuria. As for this week's question, what my biggest phobia or superstition is, well, as a good Galician, I have a strong belief in superstitions. Some superstitions like put the evil eye. Some people put a string of garlics in the window. Never did I such a thing, but what is true is that it gives me a lot of respect. There's something that makes me shake like a leaf, and that is when my sister-in-law dreams that her teeth fall out. It means that someone is going to die. Depending on the rate at which they fall out, it could be a close relative or not. And she's never wrong. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, my God. That's crazy. I hope no more teeth fall out. So a relative of hers, when her teeth falls out, it means someone's going to die. Thank God we only have a certain amount of teeth over there. Holy cow. Nuria, I've got to say, excellent job. Nuria has participated every week. And don't think I haven't noticed. Wonderful job, Nuria. Let's hear from Leo.
Hello, Alberto, friends. I love you all. Well, just to share, my biggest phobia is I've always been afraid of being trapped in places with limited space, such as in a coffin. Without being able to get out, or in a small room, cabin, something like that. In fact, I'm telling it and I'm getting goosebumps. Well, although I'm not true claustrophobic, and I have been improving over time about that issue. Every time I hear a door close behind me, I feel, I don't know how to say, a bit thrilled.
All right. He even edited some audio in there. Wow. Leo, you are definitely awesome. Leo, I'm on board with you too. I wouldn't say I'm claustrophobic. Nobody likes to admit it. But I don't like small spaces, man. I get uneasy, as Kubla used the word before. I get uneasy, inquieto, when I'm in a small space, such as an airplane bathroom. And I can't even imagine like going in a coffin. So that for me is two phobias. I'm not afraid of death so much, but I don't like coffins, ataúdes. So a coffin and a small space, I mean, that's two phobias rolled into one. And no thanks, amigos. All right, well, let's take a quick pause over here. Why? Because I want to take a look at homophones.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, it's homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And here's where I give you two words, and you guys tell me what the words are, and then you tell me if the words sound exactly the same or not. And don't forget, when we come back from our commercial break, we still have to hear from Cristina in Chicago and also Salva. But I wanted to bring you guys to a commercial break with a challenge. So here we go. The first word I want you to give me is the word zumbido. So a hum. Right? Zumbido, zumbar. It's the verb as well. It's also ruido, revuelo. That's the first word. The second word is autobús. So if you said, hay mucho revuelo sobre ese autobús, would those two words sound exactly the same? Well, you can let me know in today's homophones section. But right now, we have to go to our last commercial break. I can't believe it myself, amigos. When we come back, we'll hear from Salva and Cristina. We'll take a look at our homophones. We've got double trouble. We've got famous birthdays. Oh, man, we've got a lot of stuff to do. So we're going to take a quick break. If I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Say it with me. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. We are in the Halloween spirit here on the show with no name. You know it. Welcome back to the fourth and final part of today's show. Man, we've got so much to do here on the show. Let's see. Tons of comments coming in as well. Let's see who we've got in the house. We've got Kubla taking a stab at our Say What soundbite. Kubla, we're missing the last two lines there. I wonder what happened. It's weird because They don't edit half of a comment, they edit the whole thing. All right, well, I'll give you half an applause. Born to Iron Man says, FYIers, know you invited Richard Vaughn for a future podcast. 2 of them are not enough when you are talking with that wise guy. We are all eager to listen to him again, teaching us American history. Great. Chris Valrol says, thanks, guys. Nuria, germs are absolutely necessary. Oh, Anix, there are way more good bacteria than pathogenic ones. Great. So many people participating here. All right, amigos, welcome back. And I want to tell you a little bit about our Vaughn groups. Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831, or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. That's right, folks. More information at our website, grupovaughn.com. All right, let's take a look at our homophones. A lot of you are participating. The first person to participate is Elena. And Elena, those are the correct words. And she says, no, I reckon they're not homophones. Daniela says they don't sound alike. Born to Iron Man says they do sound alike. Kubla says they don't sound alike. Chris says they aren't homophones. And now, Kubla, you got the Say What soundbite. Great job. We're going to hear it in a moment as well. I'm going to give you the Say What soundbite for the 4th time. So this is how we solve the homophone section. I'll give it to you right now. The first word is buzz. Buzz. Zzz. Buzz. And if you listen to the FYI episode on bees, then you would know this word because we look at it very, very carefully. We look at the word buzz as ruido, zumbido. Also, to be buzzed significa estar en el puntillo, I think you say, to be a little bit drunk. Well, if you haven't listened to the episode on bees, give it a listen. These black and yellow social insects swoop, swarm, and sting as they hover around their hive, which is both their home and hangout. But be careful, because you might get stung. We'll babble on about bees on this week's episode of FYI. There you go, folks. There you go. Talking about bees over there. If you haven't listened to the episode, give it a listen. I just shared the link with you so that everybody can have easy access to it. So the first word is buzz. The second word is bus. All right. So I'm going to say, dame un toque cuando llega el autobús. Because give me a buzz es otro uso de buzz. Vaya palabra. Podría ser un triple or quadruple trouble. So give me a buzz when you catch the bus. Give me a buzz Lo voy a, para que lo veáis, voy a un poco extenderlo. Give me a buzz when you're waiting for the bus. They are not homophones. Great job. Excellent job, Elena and company. All right, fantastic. So say it with me. Buzz. Give me a buzz. Buzz when you get on the bus. Bus. So the difference is that zzz and that s. All right, and speaking of double trouble, I think you know what time it is.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. That's right. You know it. It's double trouble. And the crazy thing is, I didn't mean this, but I said this word before. I said the word before. So if you were paying attention, you might even know today's double trouble. Good luck. As always, you have to say the same word twice in this translation. So here it is. No hay que despreciarlo. Okay? No hay que despreciarlo, es parte uno, aunque estornudaste en pleno reunión. Okay? There you go. I said the word before. We said estornudar. No hay que despreciarlo is part one, aunque estornudaste en pleno reunión. You have to use the same word twice. And in the meantime, I'm going to give you guys today's Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time.
Never mind that, my lad. I wish to complain about this parrot what I purchased not half an hour ago from this very boutique.
Oh, yes, the Norwegian blue. What's wrong with it?
I'll tell you what's wrong with it. It's dead. That's what's wrong with it.
No, it's resting. Look.
All right. There you go, folks. There you go. Also, let's listen to our remaining question of the week participants. And we've got Chris, who lives in Chicago. Let's hear from her.
Good morning, Alberto. I'm sorry, I'm late. I know, I totally understand, but I'm very busy, and here, the schedule is totally different. Like it's 7 hours, of difference. So what's my biggest phobia is cockroaches. I mean, I hate them. And the funny thing is that my kids know that, and they try, to hide all the time, like plastic or fake, cockroaches everywhere, like in the fridge or under the table or whatever. And every time that I see them, like the fake one, like I jump, like what the heck? And so it's very funny. And also I know that I'm late. I couldn't, the other week, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. But what is my biggest mistake in English? It happened to me last week. I was going to send, letter to the parents, of my kids, to play a soccer game. And it was a form, that they had to sign to allow them, to play soccer. And by the end of the letter, I said like, thank you, for letting your kids, and come with me, to play soccer. Please, I need this shit to be signed as soon as possible. Thank God, one of my students was like, Mrs. G, I think, you did a mistake. Oh my God. So, well, that was a funny thing. No, thank God that I didn't send it. That's all. Thank you for listening.
All right, Cristina in Chicago. So she shared too. It's funny because she said that her kids take advantage of the fact that she's afraid of cockroaches and they put fake ones all over the house. Well, Cristina's kids, if you're listening right now, because I know they're listeners, they tune in, the whole family tunes in from Chicago. Be nice to your mother. Don't be mean to your mother. Poor thing. You're going to give her a heart attack. And her biggest English faux pas was she had to sign a permission slip or a sheet, una hoja, and she said, I'll sign that shit. Great job, Cristina. Wonderful. And last, but certainly not least, your classmate, Salva.
This is Salva. I want to share with you an incident that I still remember vividly, even though back then I was a little child. My uncle was out and he let us stay in his chalet. As soon as I got out of the car, I saw a shining spider web with a tarantula on it. The next day, as I was riding my bike, I ran over a snake crossing the road. Afterwards, as I was enjoying the pool, I got too close to a second tarantula hiding between the edge of the pool and the water. From then on, I got phobia to bugs and stayed inside. As an adult, I've been able to water down that fear a little bit, but I still have a hard time every time I come across them. That's all.
Great job, Salva. Yeah. It's like, it's like rats, reptiles, creepy crawlies. Creepy crawlies or cualquier tipo de bicho. Creepy porque se mueven lentamente, and crawly porque gatean, they move slow. So creepy crawlies. I know what you mean. But wait a second, Salva, where were you with tarantulas everywhere? Oh my God, were you in the what's the jungle I'm thinking of? The Amazon jungle? Oh my God! Of course you're going to get a phobia. Well, you know what? That's where my phobia of snakes comes from. Every time I saw a snake when I was a kid, it caught me by surprise. So I never was like, oh, you want to see a snake? Like where it was a frog. Oh, look, come here. There's a frog. We would look at the frog and that was it. But snakes always jumped out and surprised me. I would always find them in the weirdest of places. And that really has a lot to do with phobias later on in life. Well, a nice round of applause to all of you. Let's take a look at today's Double Trouble. The first person to participate is Leo. He says, you shouldn't sneeze him even though he sneezed in the middle of the meeting. The second part is right. Leo, we got to make an adjustment on that first part. Let's see, Elena. We shouldn't sneeze at it, although you sneezed in the middle of the meeting. That's the one. Es una frase hecha. It's nothing to be sneezed at. Achoo. Yeah, well, to sneeze is that. So apréndetelo con at porque va junto. Right? Y normalmente es frase hecha. It's nothing to be sneezed at. No es poca cosa, right? It's something that you should take seriously. So we shouldn't sneeze at it, although you sneezed in the middle of the meeting. Elena, you were on it today. Except for those capital letters, which are not mistakes, just carelessness, right? Let's see. Chris says, you shouldn't sneeze at him even if you sneezed in the middle of the meeting. All right. And to sneeze at him is despreciarle a él. Despreciarle a otra cosa is to sneeze at it. Learn it as an expression. It's nothing to be sneezed at. Y fijaos, la de va con eso. Also, we got Kubla as well. You don't have to sneeze at it, even though you sneezed, not snoozed, snoozed is dormió, during the very meeting. Great job, guys. And right now, it's time for famous birthday trivia.
Birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Oi, oi, oi. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And as always, this is a section of the show where we take a look at some famous people who are celebrating a birthday. Let's see if you know who they are. The first person was born today in 1958, and he is the lead singer of Duran Duran. Y Duran. Okay, not funny. The lead singer of Duran Duran. Who do you need? Who do you love? when you come undone. Number 2, this guy was born in 1946. A Slovakia, Canadian actor, director, and producer. He founded the Montecito Picture Company. They produced Meatballs, Stripes, Ghostbusters, Twins, Los Gemelos Golpean Dos Veces, Kindergarten Cop, Heavy Metal, Space Jam, Private Parts, and so much more. And last but not least, he was born in 1939, and he is one of the co-founders of Monty Python. That's right. My favorite one of all of the Monty Pythons. And let's see if you guys can figure out who our famous he was also the one, let me give you another clue. He was also the one in Fawlty Towers, which is a very famous British sitcom about a hotel. All right? All right, well, I'll give them to you because we're going to run out of time. If not, number 1 is Simon Le Bon. Number 2, Ivan Reitman. You say Ivan, we say Ivan. And number 3, John Cleese. And this will bring us to our Say What soundbite. This is John Cleese in perhaps one of the most famous Monty Python sketches ever about the parrot, the dead parrot. And he says it's resting. So the scene goes like this. A ver, ¿dónde estoy? Here we go. Never mind that, my lad. Olvídate eso, amiguito. I wish to complain about this parrot, that I purchased not half an hour ago, ni hace media hora, from this very boutique. And he says, oh, yes, the Norwegian blue, el noruego azul. What's wrong with it? ¿Qué le pasa? He goes, I'll tell you what's wrong with it. It's dead. That's what's wrong with it. And he goes, he's resting. Look. Está descansando. This is a truly famous sketch, and let's hear the master and birthday boy, John Cleese.
Never mind that, my lad. I wish to complain about this parrot what I purchased not half an hour ago from this very boutique.
Oh, yes, the Norwegian blue. What's wrong with it?
I'll tell you what's wrong with it. It's dead. That's what's wrong with it.
No, it's resting. Look.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. And I've got to say, what an amazing job you guys have done so far on today's show. And not just on today's show, all week long. The good news, we are going to be here next week, and we're going to be celebrating Halloween. It's going to be tons of fun. And I've prepared a lot of cool things for Halloween, things I think that you guys are going to enjoy and things that I think will help you not just have fun, but also learn some English, which is our goal day in, day out here on the show. So right now, I've got a little surprise for you. This is a horror story, and I'm going to play it for you. It's called The Pizza Delivery Guy. Here we go, guys. Don't get too freaked out. No te asustes demasiado.
I was out doing a delivery one late night. It was probably the longest drive I have ever taken for a pizza delivery. From the pizza place I worked at, it was a 20-minute drive, which isn't too crazy out where I live. Plus, they ordered 4 large pies, so I figured it was a party and I would get a much bigger tip. Navigating the dirt roads at night was always annoying, though. I pulled up to the given address. It was some old, sketchy-looking building, literally in the middle of a forest clearing. There were no cars parked anywhere, or any lights on. I put my car in park and called my boss. I asked him to reread the address at least 3 times to make sure I typed it in right, but that checked out. I could tell he was in a really bitchy mood, and he told me to at least knock on the door and check it out. He would normally get mad if we took back 1 pie, but I was afraid of what he would do if I brought back 4. I was insanely unnerved, but got out anyway and forced myself to the front door of the building. There was no doorbell, so I just knocked really hard. I heard nothing and didn't really expect to hear anything. I was extremely disappointed, not because nobody answered the door, but because I was realizing that it was all a waste of time and gas. I knocked one more time out of desperation, and then began to hear some kind of rustling noises from inside of the building. I knocked again and yelled that I was the pizza guy. There was silence now. I felt a bit more uncomfortable now than before. But before I could turn around, I noticed something at the window. There was someone looking through the window. I couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman. All I noticed were their eyes. Their eyes were open wider than I knew possible, staring intently at me. I was disturbed enough by this and dropped the pizzas and ran back to my car. The shitty thing wouldn't start until turning the key for the third time. I drove off the grass and back onto the dirt road, but I felt the car rocking about, shaking and bumping. Something wasn't right. I didn't make it far from the building before I started hearing a sharp scraping sound coming from outside. There was so much resistance that I couldn't even drive. The car came to a stop. I got out of the car to check what the hell was wrong. A chill ran up my spine as I began to feel like my heart was constantly skipping beats. My tires had been slashed and had completely fallen off the rim. Not just the front though. All 4 tires were slashed. I realized somebody did this when I was knocking on the door to that building. Instead of running, I got back in the car and locked the doors. I was so close to that building, I could practically see it from where I was, if it weren't for the trees blocking the view. I dialed 911 and explained everything to the operator. She told me the cops would be over as soon as possible and that I need to stay hidden. I asked her if it was advisable to stay in the car or run, and she told me it would be best to stay in the car with the door locked. She asked me to stay on the line with her until the cops arrived. My whole body was shaking. In all directions, there was nothing but dark, seemingly endless forest. I knew it would take forever for the cops to get there. I was not comfortable with sitting in that car so close to whoever did this. The next part, though, is what utterly destroyed me. It still shakes me to this day, and I hope nobody ever has to experience this kind of fear. As I was scanning all the windows, making sure nobody was outside, I looked in the rearview mirror, and there was the same person I saw at that window. Eyes open wider than ever. I could see now that it was a woman, and I could ever so slightly see a smile begin to spread across her face. I opened my door and full on sprinted into the woods, not caring how much noise I made. I ran until I was out of breath, which didn't take long, and I hid behind a giant log on the ground. I tried to cover my loud breathing with my hand as I waited and waited for what felt like hours, until I finally heard sirens in the distance. I gathered up all the stamina I had left to run all the way back in the direction of the dirt road. Eventually, the glowing red and blue lights came into view, and I had never felt better in my life. They were parked in front of my car, investigating with flashlights. I came out yelling at them like a lunatic to help me. I fell to the floor and started to gag, almost throwing up from running so much. They picked me up and began to question me, to which I explained everything to the best of my ability. One of the 2 cars drove over to the building, and the 2 officers began to search the building. They came back with nothing except for a couple of spiky objects. These objects were exactly the same as the ones used to slash my tires. The cops guessed that it was some kind of sick, demented couple, being that I saw the woman, but unfortunately they were never found, and that still kills me to this day. I obviously quit my job right after that and started working at a local grocery store. I know that I'll never forget seeing that woman at the back of my car